Zach from Condado Tacos. I know you and I, this is our first time meeting in person.
Yeah.
We've exchanged little emails, maybe even like a LinkedIn DM or something to get the conversation rolling. But yeah, man, I just greatly appreciate your time. I'm a huge Condado fan outside of all of this. We have a location in Belden Village. I could throw a football to it from our office. We've had it catered in office before. So just the experience overall with your guys' catering is unbelievable.
Oh, thanks, man. We put a lot of effort into, building that program. We get a lot of passion just top to bottom from Condado Tacos. And as you've seen in store, it shows as soon as you step in. And so being able to take that experience and take it out of the four walls was something that we had a ton of passion for. And no surprise to me and no surprise to our fans that, it really has worked out well.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I think something I think I would like to touch on first is we've talked a lot of some brands we've spoken with. A key focus of the growth forum yesterday morning was like the offerings, vegan, vegetarian, individually boxed, platters, buffets, this, that, and the other. A large portion of what I've always seen from you guys is I think it's the Bud Box. Is that what it's called?
Well, we do have a Bud Box, yeah. But
is that's a separate offering, right?
I
There's
guess
the 24 taco
we have
box.
a 24
And
taco
you said
box.
you thought you guys were gonna take it away,
Dude, no joke. It was something, and I think a good sign of a healthy organization is somebody that holds themselves to a higher standard than maybe even their guests hold them to. So we have these built tacos. The Bud Box is part of that. So
a separate one.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's still one of those. They're tacos that are made in house, wrapped and then shipped and taken to our guests. And so we looked at it and we said, well, these are wonderful tacos out of the kitchen and onto a table. Do these translate so well? And we had our own internal kind of experimentations on it, and we were like, this isn't the kind of quality that maybe we take a lot of pride in, and like, well, maybe it's something that is this even something that we need to offer? Yes, it's a high seller, but is it a quality that we really feel strongly about? And emphatically our guests were like, absolutely not. Like that is such a key component to a lot of what draws our catering guests to us. It is that there is that need of a grab and go. There is that need of I've got 30 minutes of lunch. I can't spend 26 of it in line and building a taco.
And I think with the taco box you can pick three
per box, yeah.
So you get that variety too, and you have like a all vegetarian vegan option as well within that. So it's great for anyone.
Yep. It really makes for an eclectic experience. You get the full Condado vibe. You get our tacos that are like the ones that we put on our menus, the ones that our culinary team have painstakingly built over the years. And so it really is a true, authentic Condado experience right there in a box.
Well, I'm thankful you guys got that customer feedback.
Buddy, me too. I mean, we do it a lot. We do quite a bit of post games for NFL teams, large sports organizations, and they consistently they are on a time crunch that you don't that you would never believe. And so, we would always get some internal anxiety seeing like, is this going to hold up? And these are multi-million dollar athletes who probably don't pay for a meal at a steakhouse. And so like, oh my goodness, like what is this? And the look on their faces when they have these tacos is like, it's euphoric, man. And it blows us away to see that. And I think like I said, I think it's healthy that we are consistently looking at our menu and saying, is it a standard that we want to hold? Well, obviously our guests think that we need to keep this, and we have to listen to what they say.
Yeah, it's unbelievable that that's the process you guys have in place to be able to get that feedback and then execute on it. Something I thought would be interesting to touch on with you guys that we just talked to Ashley from Taco Cabana. So kind of similar concepts in sort of ways in the packaging and everything like that. You guys ship out the catering in the taco boxes for the most part. What other offerings do you guys have at Taco Cabana? Is there a taco bar, a buffet style setup as well? Like, what are the entire offerings at Condado? Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're all good, man. I say our taco bars are bread and butter. If you're looking for an authentic, Condado, when we started, we were a build your own taco joint. Like that was our thing. You come in there, you can put everything on your taco. You can put nothing on your taco, cheap, cheese and meat, and you're gonna get you're gonna get a delicious, a fresh, craveable experience, regardless of the toppings. And so when our taco bars, obviously, like you get your shells, you get your protein options. We load it up with all of our toppings, some house-made sauces. It really gives that authentic Condado experience. We basically build a Condado Tacos line at your office. We do chip and dip parties, nacho bars. So
yes.
you got to have this taco bar. That's main character. That's our McConaughey. But we got to have our supporting cast. We have to have our guys that those people that's like, I see you in everything. I just don't remember who you are.
I'm just not sure what your name is.
Just not sure what your name is. Our side boxes, our rice, our black beans, our street corn. Things that add to the experience. Gallon house-made mocktails, triple chocolate brownies. It's very scalable, very customizable. The taco bar itself is a fantastic. Like I said, it's wonderful on its own. It can lead a production on its own. But when you add some of those supporting pieces onto it, it makes for an experience that is just top notch.
Yeah, I second it. I believe it, and I know it. In my experience delivering for Condado myself, picking up, delivering, what have you. You guys do a great job of packaging everything yourselves, and then you have these great branded black bags as well that everything's picked up in. Shifting the focus to some delivery drivers out there who may be consuming the content, is your expectation for a delivery driver that they still show up with insulated bags, a wagon, and everything, like equipment-wise, to be able to take that delivery? Or is your food prepared and ready to go in the packaging to stay hot itself and ready to go in those bags?
Look, I will enable any driver who wants to come in and have insulated bags if they feel, but our product does not need that. We have insulated containers, our packages and our boxing and our SOP inside of our restaurants make it to where our food stays, our food holds. We looked at off premise and we said, look, there is a stigma right now that when you take food away from a restaurant, you are inherently maybe losing quality.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
We said,
of a
how
downgrade.
can we make that not the case? And a lot of that is in the packaging. And not to mention, it's what a great marketing piece. What a great,
Beautiful.
Absolutely. It's you can be 50 feet away and you can see it and that's Condado Tacos. So no, a driver can come and pick it up. We have intuitive setup guides.
Yep.
There is
QR codes.
Exactly. There is a medley of ways. We're always available to answer questions. We give our info to drivers if you guys have questions, call us. No problem. We look at it in the same way like a first party guest would come and pick up an order. Maybe they don't need delivery. They're swinging by. They just want to grab something for their house party. Well, we want to make that setup as easy for them as possible too. So it really is those two key classes of who is actually setting up our caterings. And how our boxes are set up, it makes it, even without an intuitive guide, it makes the logistics fall into place. So always welcome if they have things that make them feel comfortable in with their delivery. Nothing is required. We love a wagon.
Yeah,
Always got to have a wagon. But as far as like any insulated packaging, we got it covered.
What is then the expectation on the setup piece itself? If we're going from a taco bar to just the taco boxes, there's a bit of a difference in how the extent of those setups and what that looks like. One's a little more undertaking and one's basically a drop and go, whatever countertop they tell you to set it on. So what is the end all experience and expectation for a Condado taco setup?
That the end user has to not lift a finger except to build a taco. I tell our guests, I was like, you don't have to bring anything but an empty stomach. That's all I ask you bring. You don't. We want the setup, whether it is a extensive taco bar for 250 people, or it's a 24 taco box, or it is a handful of bud boxes. We will go in and it is part of our standard delivery to set up. The goal is always to make for a pleasant experience for the end user, your office admins, your your farmer reps. These people that they're really, it's on the line for them.
Yeah, they have money on the line.
Yeah, the stakes are high for them. If I'm, God forbid I mess up a taco with somebody, with you coming and sitting at the bar, like, guess what, buddy? I got another taco.
Yeah, we'll get you another one.
But when it's off premise, the stakes raise. And our goal is, we have great food, craveable, fresh. But what do we really how do we keep those coming back? Is that we provide service. I mean, it's an experience. You come to Condado Tacos, you get an experience. You get Condado Tacos off premise, you are signing up for that same experience.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable experience. I know we're working on a tight timeline here, so I got like 2 more, just very quick bites, and we'll get you in and out. Starting out, we've talked to a couple brands now. They've thrown out some catastrophic. I don't think catastrophic is the word. Yeah, not the word. Good call, Nate. Unbelievable, very high numbers in terms of this question. So I'm interested to see where you guys fall. Do you know the largest catering delivery that Condado Tacos facilitated in your time?
Just under 23,000.
Very impressive.
Is what we did. We partnered with a very large church group in Cincinnati, Ohio, for a Super Bowl party, and it was stunning. I mean, it was nacho bars to the ceiling. It's great. It was great. Being a part of it myself, covered in guac and queso at the end of the day, never felt better.
Unbelievable.
But, our average order value is just under $600. So
that's still pretty high.
It's very high. We really do take a lot of pride in that, and we have a very engaged sales team who, they get it, they understand. Like it's and it's not, it's never. I always say I'm never selling you something you don't need.
Last one, and then we'll let you get on your way here and let you enjoy the rest of the conference. Zach walks into Condado Taco, sits down. What's he ordering?
All right, so I'm gonna order a spicy Gran Classico margarita. That is our top shelf house-made margarita. I'm probably then gonna do a 3 buds, and I'm gonna throw some dirty queso on that. I'm gonna throw some street corn guac, and you know what? I'm a sucker for a tomatillo salsa. All right, and assuming I got room, because at that point it's probably a second Gran Classico on the table, or a Tall Boy Pacifico. Don't get me going on a nice 22-ounce Tall Boy Pacifico. I'm gonna do a couple double decker tacos. We have 3 double decker shell options. Sweet, a Sweet Lucy, flour shell, queso, guacamole hard shell. We do a juju, which is instead of the guacamole, you put a little chorizo on there. I like a Piezler. It's refried beans, sour cream, guacamole, 2 shells before you put anything else on that bad boy.
Unbelievable. I'm
throwing a couple of those on. I'm going to do some chicken. I'm going to do some carne asada, lettuce, pico de gallo. Got to throw my jalapenos in there. Corn salsa for both tacos. And then I'm a sucker for some dirty sauce. Hot, flavorful, tangy. Not gonna blow you away if you like spice. If you don't like spice, maybe be a little careful. Get maybe some cilantro lime aioli, some of those other house sauces. I'm getting that. And then if there's any room at all left over, I'm gonna ask for a triple chocolate brownie in a single wrap bag. And I'm probably gonna take it with me and eat it at my home afterwards.
What about the Blue Dream?
It is. You know what? Tex-Mex ground beef. We nail our recipe on it. It's so good. The avocado ranch
absolutely
is there.
amazing.
Cool Ranch shell, house-made Cool Ranch shell. Don't sleep on it. I say that's a crowd pleaser, buddy, because we are far from your just like regular standard taco. Blue Dream, though, if we're gonna say, if I'm looking for a crowd pleaser, that's a crowd pleaser, baby.
Absolutely electric. What is there one? Is it the heater?
The heater.
It's steak.
Yeah.
Rice. Yep. Something like that.
It's got steak. I think so. The heater. I think you made the Bad Habit. So
the Bad Habit. That's what I was thinking
shell.
of.
It's got the rice. Yeah. It's got steak. It's got mango habanero, chimichurri, pico, dude. Monterey Jack cheese. Absolutely
incredible.
Game changer taco.
Unbelievable. I could talk about Condado and the menu for hours on hours. Zach, I know we just recently met at this conference, but I hope we obviously continue this conversation
Absolutely.
offline, off camera, and hopefully we can be a delivery provider for you here in the moving forward, whether it's through other marketplaces, platforms, directly, what have you. But I just overall, man, I just appreciate your time, your conversation. Thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate you having us out.
Thank you, man.
Cheers, buddy.